Good evening, I'm Jeff Koinange, and this is Jeff Koinange Live. Tonight, the genesis of the madness in the North Rift. By the way, this entire show is dedicated to the men and women in uniform out there. From the regular police to the administrative police to the GSU, and yes, the men and women in the KDF. Because when 21 or so police officers are slaughtered in one day, in modern Kenya, 21st century, you have to wonder, what kind of barbarism is this? It happened in Kapedo this past week. Almost 2 years to what happened in Baragoi, where 42 police officers were slaughtered. And by the way, it's that same valley. The people up there, Turkana, Pokot, Samburu, we want to know what is going on because, frankly, we don't know. And many of us don't really care. But JKL cares. That's why we're doing this show. And we have with us, if I could start, I have 3 guests. First time in a long time. Let me start with my immediate guest right next to me. She's an educationist. She's been on the show before and she spoke so well from Samburu. First woman to get a degree and she's outspoken as ever. Sophia Lepuchirit is on the show. From Samburu, I said. Right next to her, a microbiologist all the way from Turkana, folks. Mary Kanyaman Ekai. Also pretty outspoken. 2 women versus 1 man. Senator from West Pokot. The man who, by the way, told the president to his face that the incident that happened in Kapedo was mistaken identity. They didn't know it was police officers. So it was okay to kill Turkanans. We'll ask him. He's a professor in applied mathematics. Also happens to be senator from West Pokot, John Lonyangapuo. Did I say that right?
Very well.
Good to see you all. A Pokot, a Turkana, and a Samburu. We're going to try and tackle this in the next 60 minutes or so. Folks, let's try. Professor, I'm going to begin with you because obviously you're the man under pressure here. And you said, and everybody heard you say, in front of the President of the Republic of Kenya, that what happened in Kapedo, where by the way, Mary grew up in Kapedo, what happened in Kapedo was a case of mistaken identity. That your people, the Pokots, didn't know that those were police officers. You thought it was Turkanans, which is okay to kill Turkanans. And there was an outcry. People say you should be arrested just for saying that. Your defense is what, sir?
Jeff Koinange, thank you for bringing me here today. Your show is called JKL. And my names are John Krop Lonyangapuo, JKL.
I didn't even know.
So you are running my show.
Shake. This is your show. This is your show.
You are my agent.
You are JKL.
Yes, JKL.
You see, it takes a professor of mathematics to come up with that kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah. And I've been admiring to come, but I didn't know that I would come in the scenario I've come.
Yes.
First of all, let me start by saying we condemn, and I condemn in the strongest terms possible, the brutality that was meted in our police service and our security agents by the bandits in Kapedo last week. I repeat, for anybody who is listening to me, that I don't condone such a behavior at all. To this extent, that when all of us got a shock, we heard that this criminal act had happened, we were shocked to see in TV and heard in radios that people, Askaris have been killed. I come from West Pokot County, and the scenario took place in Baringo County, in a center called Kapedo, which according to, some people will say, of course, my neighbor Turkana stayed there. When that incident took place, we were really touched. And every leader was called. IG Kimayo, and everybody else called me. The people, these bandits came from Pokot origin, Tiati constituency. But you are a Pokot as a leader. Even if you are from another county, can you people mobilize yourself? We see how we can stop this. Then on Saturday, I went to the ground together with Kamama, together with the PC, together with the DC and everybody. because now the killing had just taken place a day or two earlier, and we arrived there. And we were surprised, and we couldn't keep off completely.
Were you shocked?
Very shocked, yes, very, very shocked. To the extent that you can kill the way I saw, you cannot take it lightly.
So what the statement?
So we returned. Be prepared for my explanations. I may be slow, but very sure. Then when we returned late, I was going back to Kapenguria. My family stays in Eldoret. Reaching Eldoret, we were called in the night that they have called all the leaders from the North Rift, all the leaders from Baringo County, starting from the senator to the MPs, West Pokot, Turkana County. The head of state is going back on Sunday to the scene because of the size of this problem. Where you people come? I decided to go back again at night. My colleagues from Turkana were in Eldoret over a function that I had. So we arrived and stayed together with the Ulelengu and Kimayo, everybody, and a hotel called Baringo, Soil Lodge in Baringo, Lake Baringo. Then the next morning, all of us, helicopter was sent to come to pick us. We left our vehicles there, then we went on site. I am repeating it this way. When the head of state arrived, the Pokot were asked to explain what happened. And PC Warfa, who was the master of ceremony, called two elders. One elder came carrying green leaves as a sign of peace and guilt and repentance, and apologized. Your Excellency, we didn't know this had happened. It happened about 40 kilometers away from where they were. There is no network connectivity at all, to the extent that it took them a day or two even to hear what had happened. So when they were hearing on Saturday when we arrived, the president arrives on Sunday. To them, it was also like they had just received it and they were surprised. This is exactly what they explained to us, and they apologized that the killing took place because of a previous war, which had been going on for a month between the Pokot of Baringo, near Silale, and the people of Kapedo, as a result of a man who was murdered and slaughtered, and the head has disappeared to date. And the body was brought to Kaparnet. It is in Kaparnet mortuary. So these people are demanding for the head to be returned to the Ganbari. So that's the scenario that I was told. And when they spoke, they asked for forgiveness, mistaken identity. Number two came, forgiveness, this was mistaken identity. Then when I spoke, I must speak now.
Yes.
Because people are thinking it was me. So when I began, I said, Your Excellency, this scenario has never been seen. I am 50 years old now. I've never seen it. I've never heard that our people can, even the Turkana themselves, except the other one of 2012. Unless, for it to happen, there must be something strange in it. So as the owners have said, that they need 2 weeks to look for the guns, and they need forgiveness. It was a mistaken identity because the Kenya Police Reservists, Turkana by tribe, who were coming after them, and had previously killed a wife of one of those boys, and 8 of those boys also were killed as they were watering the animals. So these other remnants went to revenge because they were using police.
Mary.
But they were using police vehicles.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Prof, so that's okay. That's the explanation given by the people on the ground.
Yes.
Does that make any sense? You grew up. You were born in Kapedo. Is it okay to kill people, whoever it is, whether it's mistaken or not, in this day and age?
Okay. First of all, let us all agree that we condemn with the strongest term possible the heinous act done against the Kenya police, and we shall never condone that. And at this day and age, when a professor tell you that I was in Kapedo, where the killings, he saw the killings, where exactly did he land? Because I know the president went to Chemolingot, and then after Chemolingot, they went to Kapedo, which is in Turkana County, Turkana East Sub-County, Lomelo Division. we have never had a cattle rustling where there are no cattle driven away. This is all about resources. The professor himself has just confessed. He said in front of a president elected by 6.1 million Kenyans that they needed 2 weeks to return the guns, that the killing of police officers was a mistaken identity. Do Kenya police reservists from Turkana deserve to be killed? Are they normally transported in police vehicles? No, they go by foot. We agree, we don't know of any fight between the Pokots and the Turkana between the month of October and now. So we don't know the genesis. And after all, the senator is from West Pokot. Turkana is in Kapedo is in Turkana County, Lomelo Division. Our neighbors is Tiati sub-county, which is represented in parliament by Honorable Kamama. And the senator for Baringo is Gideon Moi. So we are wondering, what is the interest of Professor, the senator for Pokot West Pokot? What is his interest in the whole issue? Because it is only then that we will know how to answer the professor. Because we thought today on the bench will be Gideon Moi, the senator for Baringo, Asman Kamama,
that's right,
the MP for Tiati, who is the immediate neighbor to Kapedo. And if it is about boundaries, we have never had issues of boundaries. It is only cattle rustling. And by the way, we need to stop baptizing cattle rustling. Call it armed robbery.
With violence.
With the violence. It should be dealt with according to the law of the land.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who does it. Is it a Turkana? Is it a Pokot? Is it a Samburu? Is it a Borana? It doesn't matter.
Why don't we just call it primitive? Sophia, you know this.
Yeah.
They're just primitive, these people.
They're just primitive.
Honestly, let's face it. In the 21st century, are you know, is it a sport that you go and steal someone's cows, you kill them, and then you wait 2 weeks, they come, they do the same? That's primitive.
That's what I say, Jeff, and it's unfortunate that Senator Lonyangapuo can be put in such a situation where he's made to say, you say this in front of the president. According to me, when I came to the bench, I spoke against cattle rustling, and I said, Jeff, it's just primitive. Now we are live on KTN, and these guys who are the perpetrators of the heinous act cannot even watch us on TV because they have no television, they have no mobile phones, they have nothing. I like the way she's saying. It's total theft, it's armed robbery. Just a few days ago, my senator, and that's why I said, Jeff, you should have had my senator here, Senator Leshori, Sami Leshori, or even, Sami Leshori, is on a wheelchair. He was shot just a few days after he left Baragoi when he was the member of parliament for Samburu East, when he had returned some cows which was stolen by the Turkanas apparently from the Samburus. Then when he came to Nairobi, he was shot, and that's why he's on a wheelchair. And the MP, Alois Lentoimaga, has lost his father, his relatives, his close brothers through this same cattle rustling, killed by the Turkanas. And my sister, my son Leshoma, the women rep, just a few days ago in parliament, they said, why should people kill and maim others and go scotch-free? Because as we are telling Senator Lonyangapuo now that 20 police officers died, how about the 40-something police officers who died in Baragoi? And the Turkanas also said, we are sorry, we thought they were Samburu, KPR.
That's what these people said?
Yeah, they said, they said, we thought we are killing Samburu KPR. And now the Pokot said, we thought we are killing Turkana KPR. So in the 21st century, for goodness sake, is a human being not a human being who has the power to eliminate life? Because of a few cows. Jeff, when I told you in this show, only 15 to 20,000 cows migrate from Pokot, Samburu, Turkana, Baringo, Lina Kilimo's place, Marakwet. By the time the cow lands in one constituency, it is stolen by another. By the way, let me tell you, Jeff, all the pastoralist tribes are aggressors. We cannot pinpoint one position. The only bad position among the Pokot is the fact that the Turkanas are crying because of the Pokots. You know, it's the women who finally suffer.
Yes.
Because our sons are dying, our husbands are dying. So the only problem, the Sabuns are the aggressors, the Turkanas are aggressors, the Pokot are the aggressors.
Yeah.
But the only bad thing about Professor Lonyangapuo's community, Samburu is crying about the Pokots, Turkana is crying, Marakwet is crying, Chamus, you know, there are very few. Do you know the Chamus are such poor community? They are in Baringo constituency.
Which part?
They are member of parliament was President Arap Moi, Daniel Arap Moi.
I thought that was Tugen. That's not Tugen.
No, they are still under them. They are under them.
You know, they are swallowed.
And there are very few. There are very few. And they have been made completely extinct.
You need to be orderly. It's now my turn.
Prof, let me ask you this, Prof.
Yeah.
Yes.
The rest of the country is moving.
Yes.
We can all see, I mean, a year and a half into this new government, the country is on the move.
Yes.
You people are stuck in the Stone Age. And I apologize. I don't mean any disrespect when I say your people are very primitive. And yet someone like you can become a professor in applied mathematics.
Yeah.
Mary here is a microbiologist. Sophia is an educationist. What is wrong with this picture, Prof?
Let me correct this first.
Yeah.
We had 2 meetings with the president, one at Chesitet village in a school named after me. It's called Professor, it's called Lonyangapuo Chesitet Primary School. Why it was named? Because as a Samaritan 6 years ago, when the government sent me, when I was a PS, they were trying to see how economic stimulus program can be effected in the whole country. When I arrived, I was told there is a location that has no school. Then I said, I want to be taken to the location. That's how I went there and found a school, and together with Good Samaritans, we built.
Okay,
So that's
Prof.
exactly where we were, not Kemoling.
With the president?
Yes, and we went to Capedo.
Okay, answer my question, Prof. Answer my question. We don't have much time.
You must have time. I'm very sorry. 2, the people who are supposed to be here, my colleague Senator Munez, Senator Gideon Moy, even Orelengu, I don't think they have refused to come. The issue that is happening there, every attention is gone there, so that our people, you have said they are primitive. I am not ashamed to say they are. And I want to tell you, Kenyans who are now becoming active, to now see this problem because it erupted in a wrong way, we must actually repent. Look at this document of 1965, African Socialism and its Application to Planning in Kenya, which was the first document produced by the government of Kenya. What does it say in the last page? It says this: less developed areas, number 57. Every effort will be made to ensure that equal opportunities are provided for people in less developed parts of the country. In the expenditure of public development funds, the needs of less developed areas will be given special consideration. I am sorry to say, this document is 50 years old and it's not relevant from where I come from, to this extent that I'm the only professor among the people from Pokot community. I became the first professor before anybody became a professor in Turkana. Now there are about 4 or 5 who have come after me, my own colleagues. I want to say, and she's about to become one soon.
Very soon.
Let us address this problem with all of you shedding tears. When these boys could kill and they would tell their elders it was a mistaken identity, and then when I come, I explain to His Excellency, they have said it's a mistaken identity. What did you want me to say when I'm not a senator? Exactly. What did you want me to say when I was just coming as a Samaritan? I had to say that. So to me, what you want us to do is what we are going to do. We have just gone into devolution. And by the grace of God, the resources that God gave us is also cited here. In Turkana, in Pokot, in Samburu, in most of the pastoral region. All of you will come in the near years, the many years to come. You should be praying that things are put right so that your employment and all our development funds will come from that.
Okay, let me ask you this, and we're going to take a break and come back. Let's talk about those resources. Maybe that is the genesis.
Yes.
Maybe there's people, fuel, and of course, where do the guns come from? Where are these brand new spanking new AK-47. Where are they coming from?
I'll tell you on their behalf. Very
Okay,
fast.
I want to know that. And also the resources. Wait, hold on.
No.
We're going to take a break. Professor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where this fighting is coming from.
That is where the genesis of
There's
Kabeda
oil in
comes
that
from.
ground.
Yes.
There's natural gas. There's wind power in
Geothermal.
Turkana. Geothermal
Yes, in Silale.
in Silale. Come on, people. Professor,
I will
2 and 2
prove you.
is 3.
Why is he not in? Why is he not here? Bulgaria? Don't tell me that.
Ooh,
It is because
Why is he not there?
violence. Because they're not primitive in Bulgaria.
yeah, exactly. They are not
They're not primitive.
Then you must
But
repent.
let's
Go and
to-
assist those people.
Yeah, let's go.
No, they shouldn't assist us. We are the ones to develop Turkana, Pokot, Samburu.
How would you develop?
How?
Look at this one.
Without the help of the government.
Which resources do you use?
Already the government has given every county an allocation.
Thank you.
We now have what they call pesa mashinani. Why do they want more money in the counties for development, right?
Yes.
And now, if we are busy, I've seen the development plan for Turkana, I've seen for Samburu, I've not seen for Pokot. But Jeff, I wish you could see them. They are beautiful, well laid down. But I am just worried. What worries me is what time do we have to implement what we have written?
Good. On that note, we're going to take a break, come back. So much to talk about. So much. But at least, and I keep saying, Professor, listen to me when I keep saying this, at least we're talking.
Yeah.
Yes.
At least we're talking.
We're talking. It's
You
good
know,
to talk.
while your people are being primitive, and I keep saying this word throughout the hours, maybe somebody will listen.
Yes.
And they will understand. 50 years later, it's time to move on.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's time to move on. JKL. Wow, what a show. What great guests. A Pokot, a Turkana, and a Samburu. Never before seen on one same bench. This bench is quite big, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's small.
Well, you're not squeezed. Take a break. Keep tweeting at Koinange Jeff. The hashtag is JKL. It's an important show dedicated to all the men and women in uniform. Jeff Koinange Live takes a break. We'll be back in a moment.